This particular day, I needed the sea more than I realized. I didn't overthink it. I just moved. And sometimes, if we are to be honest, that's the only prayer we know how to pray. Just keep moving. And there's a version of yourself you carry around when life gets heavy. A quieter version. One that's been making mistakes and knows it. Maybe your light is a little dimmed. Maybe your head is down. Maybe you feel like there's no place to hide. But out here, running with nothing but waves beside me, that version gets a little lighter. I've hurt people I love, made choices I can't undo. And somewhere in all of that, I started to wonder if God was still interested in me, or if I'd again wandered too far. That question sits heavier than most people know. Nor does God exist. I've never really doubted that. But does he still want anything to do with me? That one I've wrestled with. I've wrestled with it a lot. I guess I don't always want to be the prodigal son. But then again, that moment when you get the embrace from your father, and the love is there, and the covering is there, and the forgiveness is there. That moment makes being the prodigal son a hopeful situation. So when you stand and see something like this, something shifts. Not because everything is fixed. Nothing was fixed when I left this beach. The mistakes were still mine to carry, but standing in front of something this vast, this unhurried, I was reminded that grace doesn't wait for you to get your life together before it shows up. From up here, I must have looked like anyone else, just a man on a beach. But God sees the whole frame. He always has, even when I couldn't. And then, as if on cue, I wasn't alone anymore. A couple walked over with their dog, completely unbothered by me and my thoughts. The dog was more interested in my drone than anything I was wrestling with internally. I remember the lady say, "That's an expensive toy." And I laughed. Genuinely laughed. For the first time in what felt like a long time. Maybe it was just a long day. Funny how God does that. You're mid-crisis, mid-prayer almost, and he sends a dog to remind you not to take yourself so seriously. We talked for a few minutes, strangers. They didn't know my story and I didn't know theirs. But there was something easy about it. Something human. Kindness is still everywhere. You just have to step outside to find it. I left the same man who arrived, same struggles, same consequences waiting at home. But something had been loosened in my chest. I thought about my son. I want him to grow up knowing his father was honest. Not perfect, honest. That he fell and got back up. That he hurt people and chose to make it right. That he doubted God and kept talking to him anyway. That's the faith I want to pass down. Not a performance. A fight. And if you're watching this one day, son, your dad wasn't always strong, but he never stopped trying to find his way back. Back to God. Back to the people he loves. Back to himself. This beach was one of those days.